Hey everyone, I should be live. I hope everybody's day is going well. And today I'm going to be, let's just talk about locks. I'm going to be answering commonly asked questions as well as questions that some of you all asked me on my post that I put up about a week ago saying that I was going to do a Q&A today. Um, so yeah. If you're coming in the live, drop an emoji of how you feel today. How's your day going? If there was an emoji that described how you feel right now, drop it in the chat. I'll go first. Let's see. I put a wink emoji because that is how I'm feeling. Maybe your day was good, bad, or maybe your week was good or bad. Maybe if you want to talk about your week entirely, maybe give an emoji for that. But locks are like a huge topic on YouTube, on any social media platform. And there's a lot of people who are just on here on YouTube specifically talking about locks. And it just amazes me how much there is to talk about hair. For me, I could talk about hair all day. And there's so many different topics about hair depending on or whatever type of hairstyle you have. And depending on your beliefs or lack thereof, there's different things that people believe in about hair. And I know my beliefs probably won't align with every single other person's belief that even watches my channel. I appreciate everybody who watches. I appreciate all of you who watch. And however, in this conversation today, I want to set a type of mood because sometimes when people like disagree on certain topics as far as beliefs, especially when it comes to spiritual based things and maybe how your hair relates to that type of spirituality, we often resort to this thing that if we don't agree with somebody else or their beliefs, we just say that they're wrong. Like, I'm right and you're wrong. And sometimes there's no just right or wrong, right? Sometimes we can just agree to disagree type of thing. And it really isn't all the way black or white sometimes, because I think that truth is really what you make it. And truth can be perception based. So yeah. Vab, who says, I literally just started my locks. I'm kind of scared. Why are you scared? Probably not. Okay, probably not scared, like, like shivering, like shaking in your boots type scared. But I can see what you probably mean by scared. Like, it's a lot of unexpected things that can come up when you're starting locks. But I would encourage you to just ride the wave, like ride the journey, because honestly, I think a lot of it might come from the unexpected and the unknown. And I've said this in like a couple of videos, but there was a lot when I started my locks that I thought they was going to look like, I thought they was going to act like, because when I wore my hair loose out, it acted one way, but then when I got locks, it acted another way. And I think the best thing you could do is just like accept it, like accept your fate. Because it's like I think a lock journey is really letting your hair be its freest that it possibly can. And when you locked, you like committed to that. I hope I didn't scare you more by saying that. But I'm encouraging you. It's gonna be a good journey. Congratulations on starting though. So I think I'm gonna start by answering some commonly asked questions, just some questions about locks that people have asked me on my YouTube channel. I may occasionally be looking down at my phone to go back on YouTube to read the comments. But one of the most commonly asked questions that people ask me is how many locks do I have? I have 74 locks and I counted my locks on camera once. Actually, I think I counted them when I did my video when I installed them, like my 2-strand twist starter locks video. I have 74. I didn't do an even number on purpose. Um, Later into the video, I might get into what I now know about, maybe if you're somebody who's watching this who hasn't started locks yet and you want to start locks, there's a few things that you probably want to know before you start them, because there's some things that I didn't know about the parting and the shape of what you want your locks to look like before you start them. But I've started them, 74 locks. I wanted them intentionally to be medium sized, and they're actually a bit larger than I thought they were going to be. Um, but yeah. And I counted them twice to make sure that it was 74. Another frequently asked question, well, I've gotten this question 2 or 3 times, is do you miss your loose natural hair? Nope. Not in the slightest. I love having locks. And I think one thing that when you have locks, I definitely can't speak for everybody. I don't know if this is like half of people who have locks or not, but you really get used to just not doing nothing with your hair for real. And it feels great. First of all, after I wash my hair, I don't have to worry about detangling, having all this hair on the floor, in the bathroom, having to sweep it up, having hair in the shower. You know what I'm saying? You still do get like Khadijah Long. Hey, Khadijah. Hope I say your name right. But yeah, you don't get all this hair that you have to sweep up. You don't have to detangle. Depending on who you are, if you're a condition your locks type of person, or if you don't condition your locks, yes. But one of the other reasons I don't miss having loose natural hair is, I guess, just the newness that locks gives you. Like when you can do whatever with your hair, it gives you a lot more freedom. And I think having locks, especially like in the beginning stages, it's like kind of grounding and humbling. It really is, especially going through that phase when you don't really like the way it looks sometimes because you just be looking kind of rough. Well, I would look in the mirror and say that like I kind of looked rough sometimes, but then I got used to it, and then like I don't even retwist often now. And like somebody like my grandmother would say I look rough, but like older people, they I don't have to explain it, but it's something that you get used to because it kind of humbles you, and it also like takes away some of the vanity that we often want to put on, but just because other people expect us to. I feel like one of the only reasons why we want to look presentable is just that we want to present to other people. Because like when you by yourself, you don't really care if your hair is done. I mean, you might, but like probably not, because we only care when other people are looking at us. So it takes away that vanity of, oh my gosh, people are looking at me. Oh my gosh, are my retwists done? I mean, after a while, you just don't care. At least I don't anymore because I like it. I've been growing my locks for 5 years and I love locks. I feel so. Yes, Khadijah, I feel you. That's great that you had it for 5 years. Look, I love when people are, they, but I love to hear somebody who so many years with locks and they have that experience can look back on it and say one of the best decisions. No Child says, "Hey y'all, hey." Um, let's see. I think that's all of the frequently asked questions that I get just on a regular basis. How many locks I have? 74. Do I miss my hair before locks? No. That joint was always tangled. My hair was meant to be locked. Snakeskin says, I'm never really going to turn my hair into dreadlocks. However, I love the style in general. Do you prefer locks over braids? Thank you. Oh, wait, no. That wasn't a compliment to me. You just said you love the style. Do I prefer locks over braids? It all depends. Well, okay. So like locks is like a permanent thing. So if you're asking me, it's hard to compare the two because locks is like, okay, you have locks forever until you cut them out or until you comb them out. Braids is like, okay, you can get box braids, you can get I used to do box braids with like my own hair, so it would be like this length, and then I would just use my own hair to put braids. And you can get cornrows, but like most of the time, braids, you take them out. Unless you're talking about braid locks. I don't know. I guess I prefer locks better than braids because I have locks. Oh yeah. Ali, oh, Ali. I think I said that right. Hey from TNT. What's TNT? Or where is that a place? Just I'm uneducated. Oh. She says, I don't know if you answered this already, but how does logs help you with your spiritual journey? That's a loaded question. That's a loaded question, Ali, I'm sorry. Trinidad and Tobago, yes, in the Caribbean. Okay, yes, Trinidad and Tobago, yes. Okay, represent. Okay, to answer your question, a short answer is difficult. So for me, I realize the power that hair in general has, right? Hair senses energy. Part of my knowledge on hair and spirituality comes with science because I love science. I am a exercise scientist or exercise physiologist. That's what I studied in undergrad. That's what I got my degree in. And I love learning about the anatomy of the body. I learned about hair and how it is the thing that senses things. Every place on our body has some type of hair except our hands and feet because they have its own like touch sensory or sensory things. But everything else on our body has hair, even if you can't see it. And there's a reason why, like, when we get cold, our hair raises up and we get goosebumps because our hair is sensing the change in temperature. So our hair senses the change in environment. Temperature and environment is energy. In essence, hair senses energy. So hair that spirals like this packs in that energy and acts like a coil, right? Just like an antenna, just in the same shape of anything that makes movement. Think about when rain drops from the sky and it drops into a puddle. What shape does it make? Like ripples, a spiral. Anything that moves has like a wave or a spiral, right? So spiral hair, or Afro textured hair, I just like to call it. And this is dated way back into African spirituality. They believe since hair is the highest thing on your head to the heavens or to God, it helps connect them with their higher power. And so I believe that scientifically, with the hair being the shape of a spiral, and spiritually, in both ways, it helps you connect and sense energy around you. A lot of people also refer to the story of Samson and Delilah in the Bible. I don't know all the details because I read the Bible, but like sometimes I forget some of the stories. But Samson had hair, long hair, and that was his power. And one time, I think in his sleep, right, like they chopped his hair off, and then he lost his power. He lost his strength. In a lot of ways, hair is meant to promote protection. And that's why our hair often grows up towards the sun to protect us, but also to connect. So in a lot of ways, to me, since with locks, you have more hairs on your head because you never shed hairs. They just all like fall out of your scalp and just lock in here. So you have more antennas. I tried to make that the shortest I could, but that's what I believe. And again, I said this at the beginning of the live, but there's a lot of people who may not agree that hair has anything to do with anything. And I'm gonna read y'all comments in a little bit. There's a lot of people who think that hair has nothing to do with spirituality. They think it's fake. They think, that's valid. Like that is valid. If you believe that for yourself, that is valid. I don't really promote saying that somebody is wrong because of what they believe in, or that somebody that what you believe in is better than somebody else or whatever. But yeah, that's definitely what I believe. And Snake Skin said, I'm from New Jersey. I hate it so much. Why do you hate it? I passed through there to go to New York one time, but like I never really hear about anybody talking about New Jersey. I have a friend that lives in New Jersey. Samson in the Bible also had locks. What? That is news to me. That's so crazy. You know what? I heard Medusa had locks. I don't know what else to say about that. But in my head, just the fact that she used to turn people to stone with like the way she looked at people. It's so I haven't read much about this in depth, like the theory that she had locks, or is it true? But what I'm thinking in the back of my head is, if that were so, and her hair was supposed to actually represent snakes, that would put locks in a bad connotation, of course, that there's some type of evil sorcery thing. So I totally get it. That's a deep meaning. I agree. Yeah. I mean, when I explain it to people, I think it makes sense. And it may make sense to many people, it may not make sense. But I also believe in things that don't make sense. Because I feel like spirituality is also something that it's not always explained by logic. Science is mostly explained by logic, but spirituality is like believing in whole systems that sometimes you don't have physical, tangible proof of. So I love science and the fact that you can use it to kind of like explain spiritual things. Sometimes they can be used together. And sometimes like a lot of belief systems have the same beliefs. They just use different roots or different derivatives, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's crazy that Medusa had locks. I'm gonna look more into that. And I did not know Samson had locks. Okay, I'm gonna start reading and answering the questions that I got on my YouTube post. But you all can keep asking questions and keep, conversing in the chat. Let's go to my post. All right. Hi, sis. Love your channel. Oh, that's you. Known child. They're on here. Lock question. I'm 8 months in my lock journey. Whenever I wash my hair, my retwists come undone. Any tips? Any tips to prevent this? Trying not to retwist too often. Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. I really enjoy your support and your comments. I love reading the comments. So your retwists come undone when you wash your hair. And are there any tips to prevent your retwist coming undone? The retwist particularly, I would say when you wash your hair, if you're simply talking about this part that's like this, and then it comes undone like that when you wash your hair, I don't even know how to prevent that, because I think it happens pretty natural. Just like when water hits the hair, it wants to expand. However, I've seen other people who have locks. Y'all might watch TP Locs here on YouTube. I love his channel, and he did a video a while back on how to wash starter locks. So if your locks are 8 months, I'm not sure if this may or may not work for you, but he put a stocking cap over his locks. It's actually, did he put a wave cap? It was one of those black ones that's stretchy. And he put it over his locks. Like, so if his locks were like this long, he put the cap over his locks, right? And then he got in the shower with it, washed his hair as normal, but like he put the shampoo over top and shampooed it. So if you don't want your retwist to come undone, I guess you could try that. I don't really know any other methods of doing that. I've never tried it for myself. However, if you have two-strand twists, I'm not sure if you have two-strand twist locks, sometimes they'll be prone to coming out. And I don't think there's a way to really prevent that. Actually, I'm lying. Why am I lying right now? The very first time I washed my locks, I put them in sections. So like this was a section, that was a section, and I put hair ties on them. And then I got in the shower and tried to concentrate the shampoo on my roots so that like the length of my twist would not come undone. Because if your twist ever come undone in the bottom, it's pretty unpreventable. And you could try that method, like sectioning off your hair and then washing it. Next question. What advice would you give, if you haven't already given it, for the awkward phase of locks and building confidence about it? Well, what I did was I just wore head wraps a lot. Sometimes when I just didn't want to like look at my hair or like do anything with it, I just wore head wraps or hats. I have like 3 or 4 hats. Um, as far as the confidence goes, I feel like it's difficult to explain how to have confidence, even though I've explained it in like a lot of videos, and I've been just saying some deep stuff, like you know what I'm saying about confidence. Because sometimes it just comes to my mouth to say, but right now it's not coming to me. The way I have confidence is that I just think about, out of all the people that are in the room right now, first of all, is anybody worried about me? Like, is anybody worried about my hair? If they are, then they're probably worrying about it for how long? They'll probably look at it and be like, her hair could be better. And then they go about their business because they got their own stuff going on. So I just really think this goes back to like the vanity thing. I think a lot of the times the main reason why we want to present ourselves a certain way is because we think other people are watching. I'm not saying that, other people don't find you attractive or nice to look at, or they're not looking at you, because they might. But when we think that people are worried about the way I'm presenting myself, so I feel like I have to present myself a certain way, or present myself more neat, or present myself like more put together, especially when you're in the awkward phase of locks. It's like sometimes it can be a little bit unrealistic, because I feel like this is just the awkward phase is something that has to happen, because that's part of pretty much every lock journey, except if you get instant locks or like crochet locks, or what are those ones where they interlocks? Yeah. Yeah. As far as confidence, I just made sure that I had it. And if I didn't have enough confidence to have it, to rock it out, I just threw on a head wrap or a hat. So yeah. I started my locks 3 times. This is my 3rd time. I did it a week ago. I kept combing them out because I could feel the negativity in my hair. Wow, that's crazy. Like after well, you didn't mention like how many times you had them in before, but that's like, well, I say crazy in the sense that that's amazing that if your locks were in for probably like less than 5 months, that you felt negativity in your hair. That's amazing, because I've never felt that, but I know like some people have, and I know that some people have cut their locks off after they grew them to like, y'all can't see where my fingers are, but they're at my waist. I know some people that cut their hair off when it was like down to there, and they felt like a weight lifted off their shoulders. And it wasn't because it was heavy, like physically, it was like spiritually too. I believe that energy can get trapped in the hair. I feel like that's a thing. But I'm gonna stick out the journey this time. That's good. So this is your 3rd time, 4th time. Well, however many times you need to get it done. However many times you need. LOL, that's me. I like TP Locs channel too. Yes, I love his channel. And I love his family. Like, they're so cute. Q Web. said, did you blow dry your hair when you first started? Um, Not blow dry, but I sat under the dryer. The first 3 months that I had my locks in, I used to wash my hair once a month for 3 months. And then I started washing it more than that because I realized that wasn't enough. But all those times, every time I would wash, I would do my retwist. And then I would sit under this dryer. I had like the bonnet dryer. It was a golden hot one. I still have it. But I don't use it anymore because it's the summertime right now. So I just find myself air drying my hair. But I sat under the dryer 3 times, and they were all when I did my retwist. I don't. So I think like I don't think it's necessary to sit under the dryer when you first have your locks. I guess I've had my locks for 8 months now, and they're getting kind of thick. So I might start sitting under the dryer more because they just like take a long time to dry, depending on your hair density. And some people don't recommend sitting under the dryer as long as the heat's not like hot. But yeah, like if it's on low or medium heat, then I don't see a problem wrong with the dryer. And I didn't use any heat protectant when I sat under the dryer. I would put mine on low low heat or cool. It has a cool setting. I would just use oils, and I feel like oils protect my hair. I said I was going to make a video on the type of oils that I use. I'll probably do that later. I tried the wig cap method, but I felt my hair wasn't being washed properly, so I stopped. Yeah, that's the thing with like the cap over the hair and then like shampooing. You're shampooing over the cap, so it's like, how are you going to get your fingers in between your scalp, especially if you have thick locks or thicker locks like I kind of do? And that probably wouldn't work for me. That's why I was like, it may work for you, it may not. Thanks. I'll try washing in sections. Yeah, definitely. All the best on your new lock journey. Yes, all the best. Some people say smudging sage around the locks gets rid of negativity. I've never heard that before, but I know that there are some benefits to sage. I've never done sage or tried it, but yeah, whatever works. Those are all my questions. I plan to be on live for a little less than an hour, but if y'all want to keep this conversation going for maybe about 10 minutes or more, I could stay on here for like 10 minutes or more. Thank you for everybody who asked questions and who signed in today to chat. I really love that there's like different audiences. There's people watching my channel specifically for locks and probably like nothing else. And then there's people who are like here for the locks and the mental health, spirituality type talks. And then there's people probably just here for the mental health type. But I think it all ties together, at least for me. I think having locks helped a lot with mental things. Naughty Naughty said, hello, how old are your locks? I started my locks on November the 14th. They're 8 months. And 8 months in like a week and a half. So my lock anniversary is on the 14th of every month. This month, 14th, it was 8 months. Yep, 8 months and strong. And I recently learned that not everybody's hair looks the same when it actually buds and locks. My hair doesn't look doesn't look like most other people's hair because I can still see a lot of the texture in my hair, but it's definitely like locked. It's not like all the way mature, of course, but it's locked in there. Like it's not unraveling, it's not coming out. I would have a hard time taking these locks out, and depending on your hair texture, it's gonna look different. And also, a lot of my locks are getting flat. I'll do another video showing a close up of my locks, but literally all of the ones in the back are like, you can probably see this one right here actually. Yep, this joint flat. And a lot of the other ones are, oh gosh, this one, yep, flat. And I didn't want flat locks at first because on me, I didn't like the way they look. But now I'm like, I think it's kind of cool. Like I think it looks kind of cool. But the roots are flat and then the end is round. But it's whatever for real. And that's like a part of the journey. Whatever your locks want to do, I feel like we should just like accept it. And a lot of people dye their locks, a lot of people cut their locks, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Like it's whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, I feel like the more that you love and accept your own, like what grows out of your own body, the more it's going to accept you. I feel like if we talk to our hair, it's gonna like talk back to us or something. Gotta get a swig of water. A lot of people ask me why I drink out of a mason jar, and then they're like, "Is that white lightning?" And I'm like, "No." People be thinking I'm drinking moonshine. I'm here for the brows. They're bomb. Thank you. I use soap. I do soap brows. Mine are 5 months. Congratulations on 5 months. I'll take up to a year or more for mine to be completely locked. Oh, it'll take up to a year or more. Yeah. I feel like that's accurate. I feel like that's a good like sweet spot for everybody's locks to really be locked. I'm at a year and they're still not all the way locked. It is what it is. That's part of the journey. I drench every day so they can lock faster. Yeah, I do the same thing. And also, I'm not sure if you've probably seen a lot of videos on how to lock your hair faster or just tips. And some of the things I've seen is West Indy Ray. I'm not sure if y'all have seen her channel. She uses salt, like sea salt and water, and mixes it. She might put some other stuff in there, like some oils or something, or rose water. But I think she does it before she washes her hair because sea salt dries out your hair a little bit. And she was saying that when she would go to the beach, it was a lot of surfers and they had locks and their hair would just like lock up real fast. And she thought about it and she was like, okay, so they're always in the ocean. So she got ocean water and started spraying it in her hair. And she said that really, she thought it made her hair lock faster. And she has 3C, 4A hair, I think, or 3B, 3C. One of those combos. She just has a little bit of a looser texture. And I think it's a general rule that looser textures may lock slower than tighter textures. And um, her hair locked pretty fast. You could try it if you're brave. But yeah, I use water too. I spray my hair with water every single day. My locks are actually like real dry. Like they dry than the Sahara right now. And I'm thinking about getting some rose water. LOL. I just washed my hair. I'm about 4 months in and my hair is definitely looking fluffy as well. Yup. I wouldn't rush the process. Just enjoy the ride. I agree. I remember when I was around that like 4 month mark as well, and I kept getting scraggly hairs, and for some reason it was very annoying because whenever I would wash my hair, it was like, okay, the lock, and then it was like a stray hair that I could pull out like this wide or this long out of the lock. And it's kind of like it's the hair is confused. The hair is like, okay, are we doing a protective style? Are we the hair is like, this is different. So it's kind of like it takes a minute for the hair to catch on, like, oh, we in this. Oh, we committed. Okay. Bet. And after like 6 or 7 months, it's like, okay, I see what you're doing. Bet. Think I'm gonna maybe I'll end the live at 5:50. That's a good time. Yeah, it takes a while for the hair to get on board. Right. Have you seen Yanni the Lochologist YouTube channel? She gives amazing advice too. I have seen her YouTube channel and I've seen a few of her videos. I particularly saw a video of one of let's get the words together. She did someone's hair and he had new growth that was like this long. He had semi-freeform locks. Depending on what you call semi-freeform. I mean, I think she actually called them freeform locks. But he retwists his hair about once a year. So he had hella new growth, and to separate it, she didn't like pop the locks. She just took the hair and did like that, and like did like that. And I never thought about doing that to separate your hair. And I started doing that to my hair. I did that last week when I washed it, and it felt like a kind of better method, but you know, you really gotta take other people's advice with a grain of salt, because I would say that her stuff is credible because she I think she's from Trinidad. I think she's from Trinidad, right? And she said that she's done plenty of locks, right? So she's definitely a credible source, but things definitely work for different people. I'm not impressed with her, but I respect all black hair. I agree. I respect it. I respect it. I think my favorite part is just trying the process itself. Sometimes people ask, how thick do I want my locks? And I tell them, I don't know. I'm just letting my hair do its thing. Did you start your locks? Like I'm curious, like how did this is a good question to ask. How did everybody start their locks, or what was the intention behind, what was your why? A lot of people ask that. What's your why? Like, what was your why for starting locks? And how did that impact the way you started them? Like, for example, I started my locks because I wanted, first of all, to stop doing my natural hair. That's probably not a good reason, because I'm still doing it, but I wanted to not do it as much. And also, I wanted a journey to ground me and to humble me. And I started it doing very precise parting, and I wanted everything to be kind of structured. But then later on, I got into it and I was like, I don't really care about the parts anymore. I'm just gonna not retwist for a while. And I feel like, so like you evolve and change, and then your wants and needs as a person evolve and change. Because there's so many things about us that change in less than months. So, like when you start over, you're like, okay, I want to do it different this time. That's totally valid. Like, two strand twist for me, and my hair wanted to be locked. I can relate. My hair wanted to be locked too. Because every time I detangle it, the roots said, yeah, the roots just wanted to be together. Twists and locks are just so beautiful. I have cut my hair so many times and retwisted it. Maybe I should stop reading like every single. Should I stop doing that? I'm just reading my head. Yeah, that's beautiful. So you yeah, you had locks multiple times. Patricia, is that true? And you said you cut your hair so many times, retwisted it, or you just wear your hair short for a lot of times. Mm, they were gorgeous, but way too heavy. You know, I was thinking about that for myself. Like how you never know like how heavy your locks are gonna be. And I just remember one time having twists. I had Marley twists, and they were down to my waist. And I was washing them in the shower, just like my neck about to be broke. My neck was just like holding on for dear life. And I said, there's people with locks who this is their real hair. How? How, Sway? But maybe one day I'll get there. And then I will look back on when my neck was about to be broke with the Marley twist in my hair. And then I'll have like a kumbaya moment. Hmm. Less locks and way less manipulation. Yeah, I feel that. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. You had twists for about 5 years on and off, and cut my hair on several occasions. I honestly I love any hairstyle. And I think it's, I think most of the time it's not the hairstyle, it's like the person in the hairstyle. Yeah, I think so. It's like how they wear it, you know, just like clothes. Well, that's subjective. Anybody can wear anything. Or no, a person can wear anything. Like wear it, like rock it, if they're confident about what they're rocking. That was just a thought in my mind. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more comment, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I was a big Walking Dead fan back in the day, and one of the main characters had beautiful locks. Then 5 years into my natural hair journey, I got the inner calling to start my locks. Oh wow. Thanks for your energy. Peace. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get off. Thank you. Thank y'all for y'all energy. And thank you for getting on here and chatting. I love this little community thing we got going on. And I love y'all for real. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, wherever you are. And I'll see you later. Bye, everybody. Peace.